is considered by many to be one of the greatest hitters of his or any generation. 8 National League batting titles, 7 Silver Slugger awards, and a career .338 batting average say it all for the great Tony Gwynn. He has returned to his college roots to teach the game he loves. Today, he's our guest on The Game 365.
It's kind of like my dream job right now because I'm still at home. I still have an SD on my hat. And, you know, I can still be a Padre if I have to be, but right now I'm an Aztec, so I enjoy that.
When Tony Gwynn retired after 20 magnificent Major League seasons, the world was his oyster. Opportunities aplenty for the surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. But what he chose was to return to his alma mater, San Diego State University, and to teach the game he loves to a whole new generation. Now, you went here. Can you remember your first day at this school?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that.
I came here on basketball scholarship, and the first day, you know, you're going around getting your classes, and you finally get to do something related to your sport. And it was a Monday, so I had 3 classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I remember thinking how great it was. I got out of school at 11 o'clock, you know, and came over here to the athletic side and sat down with my coach, Tim Veazey, and we talked about what we were going to do for the upcoming basketball season. Now, that's 25 years ago. 26, it's crazy, but you know, it's amazing how things kind of work full circle. I'm happy coaching. I like coaching.
Now, the kids, we watch you coach them today, and you still have a passion for baseball. Do you think you'd have the same passion if it was professional baseball, or was this renewed passion on a collegiate level?
I think I would have the same passion if it was big league baseball too. I just think that my kind of passion. I'm an old school guy. I don't know any other way to describe it. I'm an old school guy. I believe in a lot of the old school values. I'm not sure if today's player agrees with that or not. I don't know. I just know that at the college level, they're like sponges. These guys, they soak up all. I mean, I told Ricky Henderson's story. They were repeating it for weeks. I mean, just they love that kind of stuff. And I just really feel like I could have had more of an impact at the college level because I'm a teacher. I love teaching. I like breaking it down and putting it back together again. And a lot of kids think that once they get here, that it's super scientific, and it's not. What I try to do is simplify things, make it easier for them. And it usually takes a couple years before they start to trust you, before they start to believe in what you're talking about. But could I coach it the same way at the big league level? Oh, yeah, sure. I just don't know how much a guy making, you know, 10, 12, 15 times as much money as the manager, how much he's going to believe in what that guy's saying. If he's making $15 million, he must be doing something right, you know. And I think as a manager, you have to have guys buy into what you're talking about. And you know, for me, at this time in my life, I'm not ready for that. I would much rather be at the college level, you know, trying to get guys to understand just the very basics of playing the game of baseball, because I feel like I can have more of an impact that way. And hadn't translated into wins yet, but I think down the road it will. And when it does, I think this is going to be a place where a lot of kids are going to want to go to school. All right, let me have Williford at second, Smythe in left, Mendoza right, swing.
I've heard over the years that great players.
I knew it was coming. Yeah, I knew it was coming.
But you know who started it? Backup catcher. Started that.
Oh, really?
Great players don't make great managers.
Believe me, I've heard that forever, you know. And once I got this job, I've heard that. And the funny thing is, I think if you ask the players who have played for me, I think they would tell you I'm as normal as, you know, I do the same things coaches that I've played for have done. You know, I'm an old school guy. I'm a Dick Williams, you know, Larry Boa disciple. I mean, you know, I don't scream and kick and, you know, break things, but at the same time, I kind of demand that we do things the right way. I think I always have to answer the question, can good players become good coaches? I think so, but until you start beating people, you're never going to get any credit.
When 365 continues, like father, like son.
My son, at that point in his life, really didn't listen to me very much as a baseball player. And that's from summer since he was 12 years old. You know, a few years later, now he's in college. And as a player, he really didn't trust a lot of things that I was telling him.
When an 8-time batting champion talks, most players are going to listen. But when that batting champion is also a dad, he needs to fight through the barrier that every father and son must battle through. You mentioned how you coach your son, you enjoyed that. It had to be extra difficult because not only are you the coach, you're the father. How was that?
It was an interesting season because my son, at that point in his life, really didn't listen to me very much as a baseball player. And that's from summer since he was 12 years old, coming with me every summer. He'd stay, you know, we'd go together. He'd be with me doing extra work. He'd work out with me, chase fly balls. He'd get to hit. He'd get to do all that stuff. You know, a few years later, now he's in college. And as a player, he really didn't trust a lot of things that I was telling him. And yeah, he got off to his junior year. He got off to a slow start, and you know, here I am. I'm dad, but I'm also his coach, and I was more nervous about it than he was. He was pretty calm because he felt like he was going to be able to turn it around, which he did. But after he got drafted by the Brewers and started his professional career, I found that he's been more apt to kind of trust some of the things that I'm talking about, and I think it's because he knows that I've already gone through what he's going through now. And a lot of the things that I'm saying now are starting to make sense because now he's gotten, you know, a couple thousand at-bats under his belt. He's gotten that repetition of playing every day. So some of these things that I'm talking about might not apply too easily or might not make sense in college when you're playing 3 days a week as they do when you're playing every day. You know, 144 games in 151 days. Now it's starting to make sense to him. And so this year, he's had a great winter. He's worked really hard. He's really confident. He doesn't know if he's going to make this Brewer Club this year, and I don't know if he's going to make it, but I've never seen him as dedicated as he's been this fall and this winter and this spring. He's really looking forward to going to spring training and trying to make an impression, and I told him that's all you can do. You're on the roster. You know, they don't have you pegged to be in the big leagues yet, but go in, make an impression. Go in and have the best spring of your life, and anything can happen. And so I'm proud of him anyway, whether he makes it or not. I think he's handled being the son of a former major league player, you know, the son of Tony Gwynn, being Tony Gwynn Jr. He's handled all that stuff his whole life. He's handled it great. And now, you know, he's getting ready to go to what he calls the big stage, and I think he'll be fine. I don't know if he's going to make this club or not, but I think he's ready. He's primed for it. He's prepared for it. We'll see what happens. Got two guys all in one on this.
Let me ask you, when you knock on the door of somebody's house recruiting, does it help that Tony Gwynn brings his credentials in?
Absolutely. It helps a lot, but it doesn't mean they're going to come. Because what happens is, you call or you knock on somebody's door, they want to hear what you have to say. They want to hear what you're bringing to the table. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, to get them to sign on the dotted line is about winning. You know, and does my team have a chance to get to a regional or to the College World Series? You know, am my team going to be on television? You know, I'm not in a huge conference like the ACC or the SEC. I'm in the Mountain West. And, you know, ultimately, sometimes being Tony Gwynn is great and everything. They're going to listen to what you got to say, but ultimately they want to win just like I do. And, you know, my next line is, hey, I need kids like you to help me get to where we want to go. And some guys buy into it, some guys don't. Mm-hmm. The guys that have come to school here, I think, would tell you that, you know, I try to simplify things. I try to make it easier for them. But it's one thing buying it when I'm saying it. It's another thing buying it when you're standing there in the batter's box and a guy's throwing 92 with a cut fastball and a change piece. You know, are you going to buy it then, or are you just going to buy it in practice? And so, unfortunately for me, a lot of times they just buy it in practice. They haven't been able to trust it enough in the games. But we'll get to that point, though. We will get there.
When the game returns, Tony takes on steroids.
I was a singles hitter. And being a singles hitter, there was never going to be anybody pointing the finger at you saying, hey, man, he's hitting balls in that 5.5 hole. You better check him out.
Tony Gwynn spent 20 years with the San Diego Padres. During that time, he shared a locker room with countless players and saw the game change a number of times. Changes which included the unwelcome addition of one of baseball's biggest problems, the use of steroids. There's a thing in baseball I think a lot of people become concerned about, and as a college coach, I'm sure you're concerned about it. And you played with the guy who dealt with steroids, dealt with drugs, and died with from an overdose in the Bronx, New York, Ken Caminiti. Do you lecture to kids in college about it? And are you concerned about professional baseball because of it?
In college, it's a little bit easier to deal with because we have drug tests. And, you know, every Monday, somebody's got to go upstairs and take the drug test. So, you know, you counsel guys at the beginning of the school year about the supplements, about the steroids, about all the negativity, all the negative things that are out there. I think seeing what happened to Ken Caminiti, I think woke a lot of people up, not only the college level, but at the big league level. I think it's great now that there's rules in place. There's penalties if you get caught. And I think that's a great deterrent because nobody wants to hear their name dragged in the mud for, you know, whatever number of days and weeks and months it is for getting caught. And so I think where we are at the big league level, I think is great. I think, you know, back in my time, there really wasn't any rules. You know, I think guys knew it was against the rules, but there wasn't really anything in cut in stone saying this was what was going to happen if you get caught. Now that there are, I think that's been a great deterrent. I think the things that they're doing at the big league level, no question, filtered down here to the college level. I think it's had an impact on guys at this level too, because when I first got here, I'd be first to tell you, I thought there were guys at this level doing it too. And so, but you don't see that very much anymore. You don't see the big bodies like we saw, you know, in the late 90s. And I think it's, you know, what they've done at the big league level, no question, has helped us at our level too.
Is this okay?
Good.
What do you want us to do?
Just look right here at me.
Okay. Okay,
Right at the captain.
Okay, Captain.
Hold it.
How would a guy, of course you had, what, 3,000 hits. You could, it looked like it came easy to you. We know you worked hard at it. But how do you stay away from that temptation as a major league player? You got to know other guys are doing it. I mean, I've been in clubhouses. You knew guys were doing whatever. And how does a guy stay away from that temptation?
I think the easiest way is trusting what you do. You know, I knew I could be successful doing the things that I did. I got to the park early. I worked very hard at my craft. I studied videotape. I watched plenty of games on TV. And I knew when I got in that batter's box, I was very confident that everything that I prepared for was going to work at the big league level. To me, when you think about going that route, you're telling yourself you don't trust what you do. And if you trust what you do, that wouldn't be a big issue for you. It wouldn't be a concern for you. So for me, the thought never really crossed my mind because, one, I was a singles hitter. And being a singles hitter, there was never going to be anybody pointing the finger at you saying, hey, man, he's hitting balls in that 5.5 hole. You better check him out. So that was never going to be an issue. And again, I was comfortable being the type of player that I was. So for me, the thought never crossed my mind. I think I played the game just oblivious to other things that were going on. Not only, you know, like in Caminiti's case, I had no idea he was doing it. I very rarely paid attention to other stuff going on in the clubhouse. I just knew I had to get myself ready to play. I knew what I had to do to get ready to play. I did those things to get ready to play. And then when I got out on the field, it was just about, you know, doing exactly what I practiced, only, you know, now it counts. And was able to do a pretty good job in that respect too. But looking back on it, I'm glad I made the decisions that I made because, you know, I would hate to have, you know, people question for 20 years of work, you know, one bad decision that you might have made and, you know, and have jeopardized everything that you were able to accomplish. And so I think guys are looking at their their legacy a little bit more. Guys who have played 10, 12 years are looking at their legacy, and they don't want to do anything to jeopardize that by making a bad decision.
When 365 returns, is college a stepping stone?
This is kind of like my dream job right now because I'm still at home. I still have an SD on my hat. And, you know, I can still be a Padre if I have to be, but right now I'm an Aztec, so I enjoyed it.
Tony Gwynn's return to the place where he starred in both basketball and baseball has been a bit of a surprise to the 15-time National League All-Star, finding that sometimes it's easier to be a player than a coach. You went here and had an All-American career here. Your son went here. I mean, this is the Gwynn family second home.
Yeah, my younger brother Chris went here. And, you know, in my case, I came here because this was the only place that was going to let me play basketball and baseball. In my younger brother Chris's case, he played basketball in high school too, and he had offers, but he decided to come here on a baseball scholarship only, and he played baseball. My son, he was all set to go to Cal State Fullerton. I don't know what changed his mind, but he decided to come here, and then I got to coach him his last year here, which was a lot of fun for me. You know, just something about, for me it was easy, you know, it was pretty easy in making my decision to come to school here. It's probably a little bit tougher to come to work here than it was to go to school here. But,
why?
Because, you know, at school-wise, it was the only place where I could play baseball and basketball. Work-wise, I could have worked anywhere, you know. I mean, I could have done pretty much what I wanted to do, but this job just seemed like it was so much of a challenge. You know, as an alumni, I always thought that we should be one of the top programs in the country. And then, you know, you get the job as a coach, and then you realize just how difficult it is. Recruiting, fundraising, you know, getting kids to buy into what you're preaching, travel, again, academics, you know, the rules, the NCAA. Back in my day, we could play 40 fall games and 80 games during the regular season. Now, you're lucky if you get 2 weeks on the field in the fall. And then during the spring, you only play 56 games. They can only practice 3 hours a day, 6 days a week. Back in my day, we practiced.
The feelings that Tony has for San Diego are returned to him from a city that adores him and cherishes what he accomplished during his storied career. And you can't help but wonder if a return to the Padres could someday come to pass. Where do you see your future? A lot of people think Tony Gwynn someday will manage the San Diego Padres.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy here. You know, I've got pro guys that work out here, you know, every spring. Jock Jones and Mark Kotsay and Damian Jackson. And, you know, this time of the year is kind of tough because they're getting ready to go to spring training, you know. And I don't miss that. I mean, I miss hanging out with the fellas and stuff, miss packing my truck and driving over to Arizona. I miss that part of it, but I don't miss the grind. I don't miss 31 spring training games and 162 games in 181 days. I don't miss that part of it. And so, yeah, I love the college environment because it's, you know, you do a lot of teaching, you do a lot of hands-on stuff. These kids are listening. They're like sponges. They want to absorb all this information. And I think it's a bit more rewarding for me right now to work at the college level. Not saying that, you know, I won't do it, but right now I'm having too much fun because this challenge, I haven't been able to figure this out yet, and I just don't give up. I'm going to keep fighting until I get this thing right, but this is kind of like my dream job right now because I'm still at home. I still have an SD on my hat, and, you know, I can still be a Padre if I have to be, but right now I'm an Aztec, so I enjoy that.